Right, I've had quite a few questions on social media sites recently asking me about this little beauty that you see before you. It's a rig that I've been using pretty much all of the time if it suits the situation. The last few years I've caught a lot of really good fish on it, and it's really simple, really easy to tie, and at this time of year, you know, as you see, we're sat here at Bayswater Day Ticket Lake, it's frozen, it's January. We're coming into what is probably the best time of year for single hook baits. You know, winter, early spring, when the fish are just waking up, a single bright hook bait is a great way to target any activity that you've seen, especially in clear water. And this sort of rig is perfect for that. And what I want to try and get across to you is why I use this as opposed to say anything else. And like hinge stiff rigs, we all know how great they are, and I do use them too. But just by the very nature of the stiff material and tying on with a swivel at the bottom of the hook section, it just ends up being quite tall, and it's quite a cumbersome presentation. Yes, it's great, and I'm not saying it's not for 1 second, and I'm not saying this is better, but what this is a much more subtle version of that, really, because in effect this is a hinge stiff rig, and when fish close to the bottom like that, I just feel that you get less rejections. You know, the fish can spot it easily, small pop-up, but it doesn't look too alien. You know, that pop-up's only an inch and a half off of the bottom, and I just feel that it gets picked up more frequently in my mind, especially by wary carp in clear water. So I'm going to talk you through how you would tie it, and I've been using this rig since before the semi-stiff end trap was available, and before then I used to try and create this curve section in the hook, and it never really used to hold. But now with the semi-stiff it does sort of hold, and it really helps for the turning effect of the rig. So first things first, you would tie an overhand loop knot in a stripped section of the end trap, and you want to keep that about 1 inch long. Once you've threaded the bait onto that 1 inch section and wound your knotless knot with the coating still on through that bit, knotless knotted to a size 8 shoddy using 9 turns when using 20-pound semi-stiff. And then from that point I make a little break 3/4 of an inch from the eye, and that basically is just a break in the coating. I'm not peeling it back, I just break the coating. I put the BB shot onto the break and push backwards, and that just ruffles up that little bit of coating behind the split shot that you see there, and leaves, I want about 5 mil of exposed braid. If you put 10 mil there, you might get the odd tangle. So I've experimented with this here and there, and I find that 5 mil, you don't get too many tangles. The hook link itself, I cut about a tackle box worth off, which is roughly 12 inches, and I tie the grinner knot by forming it over a tackle box with the split shot 4.5 inches away from the swivel, and I find that once that knot's been pulled down and extended, it ends up being roughly 6 inches long boom section with your inch pop-up sections. The real key to this rig is keeping the hook section short. You know, if I wanted to pop up 2 inches off the deck, I would use a hinge stiff rig instead, because the mouth trap material will hold that curve so much better. For fishing very short to the deck, like I'd say there's probably 3/4 of an inch of coating from the eye to that break, that hinge in the material, that is basically allowing the hook bait to sit up straight, and when the fish takes the bait and the hook link is tensioned, that split shot is pulling the hook down into the bottom lip. Right, well that's all the important bits covered. If you're going to give it a go, don't mess around changing the size of the components, because trust me, I've tried all different variations and this is how it works best. So coming into the perfect time of year for single hook baits, if you see a fish show and you know it's fairly clear out there, chuck one of these out there and I'm sure you'll have a result.